Everyone, Zeddy here again with another Titan card review, and yes, we're continuing our trend of doing a video for each Titan, because so far they've been all insane, and Paladin's Titan has been revealed, and yes, she does appear to be really strong, kind of unkillable, and also like maybe a combo maker. There's a lot to go on here. Looks really cool. We're gonna go over it, and if you want to win one of these Titan cards or get some of them, you know, we have our giveaway going on. We're giving away 2 mega bundles, 2 regular pre-orders. All you have to do is like and comment in the video description below. Be subscribe to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until July 23rd, we will add another mega bundle. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. We're almost halfway through the next 1,000, so hit that button. Get in there. Anyways, we have the new Titan Paladin minion, which is Amethyst, the Peacekeeper. And again, Titans, you get 3 abilities. You get to choose with them. They can't attack when you play them, but you get to play an ability right when you play the card. And well, what does Amethyst do? It's a 7 mana 1/8. That's terrible. This card's terrible. Let's move on, right? Like that's just bad. 7 mana 1/8. It's got no attack. Why are we even talking about this? Oh wait, I forgot. I'm Zeddy. You have to read the card, and normally I don't read the card. So let's read the card. It has taunt, so that's good. However, your minions can't take more than 2 damage at a time. That includes Amethyst, because Amethyst is a minion. So this can only take 2 damage at a time, and any other minion on the board also has that effect as long as this is alive, which can make it pretty hard for certain boards to remove. We know that effect can be very good. We've seen with like Solid Alibi doing 1 damage to a face and all of that. We've never really seen this on minions that I can think of, where a minion can only take 1 damage or 2 damage at a time. I don't know if we've seen that before. I'm thinking of like Bolf Ram Shield and cards that like can kind of protect things before, but never quite like this. So what are the abilities that go along with it? Because this effect alone is actually pretty good. Like, you just look at this card alone, that's pretty good, right? Just getting that effect, especially like on a more token-based deck, it's very slow, 7 mana, but still, it's pretty good. Regardless, the abilities are also pretty good. Starting off with Pacified, which is like Sunkeeper Tareem. Set the attack and health of all enemy minions to 2. Not 3/3s. We're so used to seeing 3/3 effects with Paladin, but Sunkeeper was a 6 mana 3/7 taunt that would set everything to a 3/3. This sets only the enemy minions to 2/2. So in some ways it's worse, right? Like, you don't buff your own tokens if you have 1/1s on the board, like Tareem would do, but still neutralizing the entire board. And I believe, what, 7 mana? You could technically combo this with Consecration. So you play on 10, that's very slow in today's game, but that's a clear, right? So you have that, but just seriously, minimizing all those threats, and then those 2/2s can only do 2 damage at a time, but also take the damage. But still, that is a really strong effect. It might be what we want to lead out with if you're behind, a way of trying to catch back. That's pretty good. That's a really good effect. We also have Empowered. Give your other minions +2/+2. So not amazing. This one definitely requires you to be significantly ahead on board. But again, when you play your Titan, you can choose the ability. Maybe, you know, you set the attack and health of all minions to 2. She happens to survive, which is pretty likely considering she can only take 2 at a time. Only really gets wiped by like hard removal, like Whirlpool, or just, I guess, clean the scene. Priest cards for the most part. Defile will be finicky. I guess Defile still does 1 damage loops. It should work. It'll be really interesting to see what clears suck against it and what works well. The ones that typically are solely damage based will do a lot better. But yeah, you know, it survives, and then you play a bunch of stuff and then you buff it all up. And it is your other minions though. It will not buff herself, as I have read the card, I think, correctly. So again, really, I think, decent, but obviously of the options, not the best. And then you have like the combo element, or just this kind of leads towards, it makes me think of like Wild Reno Paladin, where you have Reinforced, draw 2 minions, you set their attack, health, and cost to 2. You can get like a 2 mana Jailer. You could get a 2 mana Countess. You can get you want this on a Battlecry minion in particular, but you mana cheat as well as stat, probably nerf. But okay, you play it on a Stone Tusk Boar. You can get a 2-mana 2/2 Stone Tusk Boar. That's pretty good. But regardless, you're drawing minions and you're likely wanting to hit, yeah, a big battle cry or death rattle style thing. Does that fit into the pure paladin gameplay? By the way, you know, it's a paladin card, support for pure paladin, like every single paladin card. And I'd say probably a lot of your minions are like Divine Shield, are battle cry based, but I don't know how well it slots in. Like, this to me does feel more like I don't know, a control card, but at the end of the day, does it? It could go into whatever, because if you're playing a more aggressive based deck, you just slap this down on the board. How are they going to remove your board? And then you buff it up, and like there's so much, like these Titan cards for the most part seem to be very just busted, versatile, and can go into like multiple archetypes. And that's why I'm like excited to make full videos on all of them, because I just feel like they justify it. Because like, yeah, again, draw 2 minions, even if it's not like specifically tutored for those abilities in Paladin with Divine Shields and all of that and Battle Cries. I just think it's worth it. To me, this is like, I want to give another 5 again. I've given almost all the 5s outside of the mage. I just take a look at the stat line. Like, it is a 7-mana 1/8 taunt. It's like initial impact is not incredible. Like, that's the only thing. Like, when you play it, you kind of need to be ahead for this card to be good. But is that really a problem for Paladin these days, to be ahead? And if you are playing a control deck, it does allow you to be reactive by setting the stats down, creating an annoying taunt to get rid of, and maybe helping you establish your game plan. You know, you can Anachronos and then play Amethyst the next turn. There's a lot of potential. I feel like this goes probably into most Paladin decks again, outside of like Mech Paladin and strategies like that. In Standard, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I know what? No, I'm going to stick with it. I think it's a 5 out of 5 card. I think this goes into multiple Paladin decks. I think it is very powerful. I think all the Titans have been. The Mage one isn't to me in the same way, because it's more, feels like a combo card, like getting a secret, disrupting your opponent's hand aren't incredible, but the whole damage thing you can build around and just kill your opponent. This stuff, like, you don't really have to build around. Most of these Titans are just really OP cards when you compare it to, like, you know, Eadrin, which would set all minions to 1/1s, and you get this plus an insane effect plus more abilities. It's just crazy to think of the power level compared to older cards, and at some point power creep does like take over and is like super strong. So in Standard, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. In Wild, where Reno Paladin's kind of playable, Engine keeps trying to make it work. He gets Legend with it. I could see it be like a Reno Paladin card, or like a Libram Paladin card. I could see Librams wanting to run this. I could see it being pretty decent in Wild. I'll give it a 3 in Wild, because, you know, slow strats don't typically work as well, but it's still, I think, a playable card in both formats. So yeah, Amethyst, I think, is just another incredibly good Titan legendary, and Paladin, again, will probably be really good. So I believe we have the Warrior Titan in like less than an hour, so stay tuned for that. But dude, I'm psyched for the Titans. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.